Hey everyone. So we're here with another mini talk, this time with Mr. Bob McGough, and he is going to be, did I say that right, first of all?
You're the first person to nail it on the first try.
Okay,
I love
great.
it. I love it.
Perfect. So Mr. Bob McGough, and he's going to introduce himself. This event is being sponsored, as usual, by WriterWorks University, which is my little organization where we help authors with their editorial services needs, things like proofreading and illustrations, helping you get your outline together, so on and so forth. So keep us in mind if you ever need some help. You can reach out at writerworksuniversity.com. All right, so I'm going to turn it over to Bob. He's going to talk to us about merchandising for authors.
Yeah. So just very briefly about me. As previously stated, I'm Bob McGough. I'm a author, podcaster, and indie game designer from South Central Alabama. And I will be teaching y'all the day of all about diversifying your income streams as an author. Uh, I imagine the majority of people that are going to be giving you lessons have probably made more money as an indie author than I have. But I would dare say that I have probably, if you were to factor a percentage of income as coming from diverse revenue streams, if I'm not near the top, I'd be pretty close to it of the people that are going to be speaking to you, because it's something I've really focused on for a long time. I've built my brand, my organization to be able to scale quickly over the length of my career. So whenever an opportunity comes up, I'm typically ready to jump right on it. So since we have a limited amount of time, I decided to just really hone in, and we're going to talk about 3 bankable merch options for authors. And I'm going to focus on t-shirts. Keeping in mind that when I say t-shirts, I'm going to show you 3 different ways to go about doing this, but this pattern can be applied to a large number of different merchandise options. T-shirts is just where I got my start doing this, and it's something that's pretty easy. Once you get this system down, you figure out what works for you, you can kind of expand outwards. So diving right in, there's 3 ways to go about this. I'm sure there's probably weird niche ways, but broadly speaking, 3 ways to go about it. And we're going to go from the most time consuming to the least time consuming, because we're all busy people here. So starting out, option 1, you make the shirts yourself, or you get them made and you ship them, sell them and ship them yourself. You handle everything. This means you go, either you buy a screen press yourself, you go to a local screen printing company and get them to make you some shirts, and then you handle by selling through your website or maybe at in-person events, and you sell the shirts. There's some pros and some cons, and we're going to list them for each one. So we're going to start with the good side. We're going to start with the pros. You will have inventory on hand to take to conventions. That's always good. It's always, the more products you have available to sell at a convention or a pop-up market, the better. Because, someone may not be interested in your book, but they really like that shirt. Oh, that's such a cool design. I have sold shirts with my cover design on them to people who've never read my books and have no interest in reading my books, because it just appeals. People, oh, I would buy that. The other thing is, this is the most lucrative path. You will make the most money doing this. Typically, I've gotten shirts made for as cheap as like $3.70 a shirt, using a local screen printer. And then, if you turn around and sell that shirt for $20, you've made a lot of money for every shirt. That's great. What are the cons? Okay, it's very time consuming. You've got to run, you got to get these shirts made, you either got to make them yourself, which is very time consuming and not my skill set. And there are upfront costs. You have to pay to have these shirts made. You're going to have to make sure that you have a website with which you can sell them. You've got to carry these from point A to point B. You have to carry inventory on hand. You have to have a bunch of different sizes for every one of these shirts, because you never know who is going to be coming to your booth to buy it, or who's coming to your website. All the marketing is going to be on you. That it's all on you, which as an indie author, I feel like a self-published author, you're probably already aware of how much that marketing load is. but it is definitely something you have to consider. And lastly, it's kind of hard to diversify products. Like doing it this way, just because you're offering shirts, does not mean it's very easy to get that design put on a coffee mug. You can do it, but it's not as easy as some of these other options. All right. The middle of the road option is drop shipping through a platform like Shopify. Okay, so what this means is you have your website somewhere, and you're going to use a platform like Shopify and integrate it into your website. Um, you then connect it to a drop shipping company. Printful is one, for example. And basically, what's going to happen is someone will come to your site, they'll place an order. Printful will handle all the shipping. Shopify will handle the sales and the ordering and all that, and you have control over the front end of it. So, what are the pros? The pros are you have more control than just doing just all in drop shipping, like the next category we're going to talk about. You will have more control over the pricing. You will pay less per item that you sell. All the products on the site are yours because it's your site. Your stuff is not going to be mixed in with a bunch of other people's stuff that they have to dig through to find your product. It's very easy to diversify products, usually, depending on who you use. But like a company like Printful, they can do more than just shirts. And you can sometimes sell through other sites. Like it's possible using Shopify to get your things listed on other websites other than just your own. The cons. You have to draw people to your site. Back to marketing. If you aren't niche enough, you can get lost in the mix. Most people who kind of go this route, they're selling some weird little niche item that they've found someone who's manufacturing it cheaply, and they're just drop shipping it through their site. As an author, it can sometimes be a little harder to draw people to your site doing that. The other thing is, while you don't have the upfront costs of like having to carry the inventory, because this is all made on demand, you are going to have monthly fees to companies like Shopify. Which if you're selling thousands of dollars a month in products, doesn't matter. It's pennies. But if you're only selling a few items, that can quickly eat up all your profits. For me, for example, December is always a gangbusters month for me for selling shirts. Football season's normally pretty good. I have some niche football, Alabama football, Roll Tide shirt designs that sell well. But come January, this month has been brutal for shirt sales. And if I was paying someone like Shopify, it would probably eat up most of my profits this month. So the last option is to drop ship through a company like TeePublic. I'm going to use TeePublic heavily here. It's my favorite site to deal with, but there are pros and cons, and there are a number of sites in here. And the best part is you don't have to be locked into any of them. I sell through TeePublic, Redbubble, and Amazon doing this route. But here's what you do: you simply upload your design, and they handle the rest. Done. They handle the ordering, the shipping, everything. If there's returns, they handle that. They handle every part of it except for uploading the design. You provide the design, they do everything else. So what are the pros? It is the easiest of the three choices by far, and it's going to be the least time consuming, which I know every author always needs more hours in the day. So there's zero upfront costs, which is great, other than getting the design made. Getting the design made. When I started, I used Fiverr and was paying people to make design ideas I had. And then over COVID, I was like, you know what? I got a lot of time where I'm not going to conventions. I'm going to teach myself enough graphic design that I can quit paying people. And that's what I did. So for me, they don't cost anything. If you have skills as a graphic designer, there's no reason why you shouldn't be taking your book covers and getting them made into cool designs to throw on shirts. Also, plus, they are on sites where people are already coming to shop to buy just that type of item. They're on shirts. They're on sites that are selling shirts. Someone who's looking for a shirt, they're going to TeePublic. They're going to Amazon. So what are the cons? You're going to make a lot less per shirt. TeePublic, where I sell most of my shirts, they they set the price. I have no control over the price. They set the price, and they are almost perpetually running sales. And so, on average, I make almost always I make $2 a shirt. If it's not on sale, I make $4 a shirt. Which you compare $2 a shirt because I'm lazy and don't want to do any of the back end stuff versus paying $4 to get a shirt made and selling it for 20, $16. But I've decided that for me, my time is more valuable. I'd rather not have to carry the upfront cost. I'd rather not have to carry the inventory. So this is what works for me. But that's why I described 3 methods so that you can figure out what works for you. Another con, these sites are often crowded, so it can be hard to get noticed. Just because your shirt is on a site selling shirts does not mean anyone's ever going to find it. Just like a lot of times with writing books and marketing, going niche is better. One of my best-selling shirts is a fairly obscure joke reference to a Lovecraftian horror story. It makes no sense to anyone unless they've read that story, but those who've read that story see it like, oh, that's great, and they buy it. And because it's much more niche, it's only people who just happen to be looking for that, that genre, looking for Lovecraft or Lovecraftian horror or, Innsmouth, they will stumble on this shirt and then, oh, that's great. So yeah, those are kind of the 3 broad paths that you can take to getting merch done. And it has worked well for me. It would work. There are people that this is all they do for a living, but me, I view it as a supplement to my writing. I take all my book covers, I make them into shirts. I make shirts that fit the theme of the genres I write in. And I just count on there being overlap. Every one of the shirts I design, there are links to it on my website. I use an affiliate link through Amazon. So not only do I get money from the sale of the shirt, I get affiliate link money, something you should look into. And yeah, so that's what I got. I would love to hear any questions that anyone might have.